Hi there. Still getting used to the new camera. So today, breakfast. I am the awful chef. I'm hungry. Let's make something to eat. Today we are making frittata, which is one of my all-time favorite breakfast dishes. So in our magic pan, you'll note the size, we have onions that have cooked down in some butter, a little bit of oil, salt, pepper, and paprika. We also have some tomatoes, some cheese, which you cannot see, and some diced ham, as well as our magic ingredient, which I'm going to try to show you. Oh yes, I can. I love my new camera. 3 eggs, a little bit of heavy cream, a hint of French style mustard, not Grey Poupon, and a little bit of the cheese as well. We want the cheese inside the eggs. So the onions are, of course, talking to me now. Let's add some ham. Yes, and once again we have the terribly exciting moment of waiting for the ham to brown slightly. I want the caramelized flavors. And I would love, oh there it is, to find my spatula. So, onions. Let's talk onions. We do a lot with onions, and I tend to keep one in the fridge. In this case, half of one is left, for things like sandwiches or breakfast or whatever I want to just cook up. They last a few days, and so it can be kind of handy. You know, when I was growing up, sandwich was meat and bread, and it was always very annoying because I wanted lettuce, tomato, onions, all of that fancy stuff. And it just kind of made my mother mad. So now, I keep a cut up onion in the fridge. And I know how to cut out lettuce and tomatoes in a heartbeat. The joys of getting older. So, diced cherry tomatoes. Yes, I have a lot of childhood angst to make up for. And I just realized something horrible. I have to do that awful, I'm a bad cinematographer thing. Come here, you. And get a plate out from behind my cabinet. Or pardon me, behind my camera. Because we actually will be doing a little bit of magic today. Okay, the tomatoes have sauteed nicely. Not as heavily as the onions. I like a bit of body in my tomatoes. So, into this magic I will add 3 eggs, beaten with heavy cream and a hint of French mustard. And voila! 99% frittata. We're not there yet. So let's stir that around. Stir the fillings around to make sure the egg is in proper contact with the pan. Yes, I am having that wonderful allergy breathing thing. Oof, oof, oof. And voila! Covered. Yeah, gotta let it cook. See, the thing about a frittata is it is a solid mass of egg. And so we are, by utilizing a cover on the pan, baking it from top and bottom. Yeah, this is the exciting part. Food, cook, hug. Don't mess with it. Excuse me a moment. So let's take a look. Oh, yuck. A little bit of a mess there. Okay. The frittata is cooking. For this, we follow your basic custard rule, which is when it's set up pretty much everywhere and just a little jiggly in the middle, it's ready to flip. So now we wait, and I threaten you again with a funky chicken. Don't worry, I'm not that crazy. But yeah, don't touch it. Just let it cook. That is one thing about this, is that there is no pause button. So you're stuck with me for another few minutes. Okay, we are cooking nicely, but far from ready to flip. You might be able to see that the center is still very, very wet. So there we go. Yes, I nervously fiddled with the heat. Did I accomplish anything? Probably not. We just have to let it cook at this point. Again, the important thing being the cover. You'll notice the cover does not fit the frying pan. I don't really know where we got this cover. We bought it a few years ago. Along with everything else, we just kind of picked it up as we went along. Yes, exciting, exciting, exciting. Watching food cook. I'm going to be hard on my YouTube time limit, aren't I? Okay, we are still too soft. Well, at least this time you didn't have to watch the onions cook. The thing about cooking onions, raw onions, moderately cooked onions versus French onion soup. From this you can see that there is a great deal of variety one can achieve simply by cooking onions for a different period of time. We are getting close. The center is still very, very liquid. I can speed that up slightly by moving the crust out of the way or even cutting into the crust. Yes, I've broken through the crust, and now the wet egg batter is hitting the basic frying pan. But the important thing is that we've established a very solid crust already. By shaking the pan, I can see that the frittata moves as one unit, which is going to be very important when we go to flip this in a matter of minutes, if not seconds. Okay, so I've used the spatula to cut through the crust and allow the wet egg mixture to hit the hot pan directly. And that is how you accelerate the cooking of your frittata batter, for lack of a better word. Oh yes, this is the most exciting part. Waiting for food to cook again. I think that this was the hardest thing for me to master. Was just taking the time to let it cook without fooling with it. Once I accomplished that, my food began to taste much better and come out properly with texture, etc. Ah. Okay. There we are. So, what do we got? Well, I'm going to try to shake this for the camera so you can see that it's pretty much solid. There is a loose coating on top that's sort of wet. And it may leave a little bit on the plate when I do this. So, big plate, little pan, flip. Okay, that is beautiful, but it is not fully cooked underneath, so here we go. And yes, as you can see, we did leave a little bit of a trail on the pan. Nothing to worry about. That was expected. That's why you have to flip to finish the cooking process. So, a little bit of cheese on top. Cover and cook. Basically, let that sit there until the cheese melts, and then you have a gorgeous frittata. Ooh. A little bit of ham left over. So I'm actually going to show you this before we wrap up, because it is that quick and that easy and that wonderful. So rather than reach behind you, there we have a frittata. Throw that out on a plate, cut it into pieces, impress everybody with your cooking skills. I'm the Awful Chef. Please subscribe. This is social media, so we must be social. That's it. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh, how do I do this?